Hi guys, so today we're reading the last chapter of Winnie-the-Pooh, chapter 10, in which Christopher Robin gives a party to Pooh and we say goodbye. I'm going to choose another book later on and we're also going to read it together. So let's read the last chapter of Winnie-the-Pooh. One day when the sun had come back over the forest, bringing with it the scent of May, and all the streams of the forest were tinkling happily to find themselves their own pretty shape again, and the little pools lay dreaming of the life they had seen and big things they had done, and in the warmth and quiet of the forest, the cuckoo was trying over his voice and listening very carefully to see if he liked the wood pigeons were complaining gently to themselves in their lazy, comfortable way that it was the other fellow's fault. But it didn't matter very much. On such a day as this, Christopher Robin whistled a special way he had, and Owl came flying out of the 100-acre wood to see what was wanted. "Owl," said Christopher Robin, "I'm going to give a party." "You are you?" said Owl. "And it's going to be a special sort of party because of what Pooh did when he did what he did to save Piglet from the flood." "Oh, that's what it's for, is it?" "Yes. So will you tell Pooh as quickly as you can and all the others, because it'll be tomorrow?" "Oh, it will it?" said Owl, still being as helpful as possible. "So will you go and tell them, Owl?" Owl tried to think of something very wise to say, but couldn't, so he flew off to tell the others. And the first person he was told was Pooh. "Pooh," he said, "Christopher Robin is giving a party." "Oh," said Pooh, and then seeing that Owl expected him to say something else, he said, "Will there be those little cakes with pink sugar icing?" Owl felt that it was rather beneath him to talk about the little cake things with pink sugar, so he had told Pooh exactly what Christopher Robin had said and flew off to air. "A party for me?" thought Pooh to himself. "How grand!" And he began to wonder if all the animals would know about the special Pooh party, and if Christopher Robin told them about the floating bear and the brain of Pooh and all the wonderful ships he had invented and sailed on. And he began to think how awful it would be if everybody had forgotten about it and nobody quite knew what the party was for. And the more he thought like this, the more the party got muddled up in his brain, like a dream when nothing goes right. And dream began to sing itself over in his head until it came to sort of a song. It was an anxious Pooh song. 3 cheers for Pooh. For who? For Pooh. What did he do? I thought you knew he saved his friend from a wetting. 3 cheers for a bear. For where? For a bear. He couldn't swim, but he rescued him. He rescued who? Oh, listen, do. I'm talking of Pooh. Of who? Of Pooh. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. Well, Pooh was a bear of enormous brain. Just say it again. Of enormous brain. Of enormous what? He ate a lot, and I don't know if he could swim or not, but he managed to float on a sort of boat. On a sort of what? Well, a sort of pot. So now let's give him 3 hearty cheers. So let's give him 3 hearty witches. And I hope he'll be with us for years and years and go healthy in wisdom and riches. 3 cheers for Pooh. For who? For Pooh. 3 cheers for bear. For where? For bear. 3 cheers for wonderful Winnie-the-Pooh. Just tell me, somebody, what did he do? While this was going inside him, Owl was talking to Air. Air said, Owl, Christopher Robin is giving a party. Very interesting, said Ayer. I suppose we'll be sending me down the odd bits which get trodden on. Kind and thoughtful, not at all, don't mention it. There's an invitation for you. What's that like? An invitation? Yes, I heard you. Who dropped it? This isn't anything to eat. It's asking you to the party tomorrow. Ayer shook his head slowly. You mean Piglet, the little pharaoh with the excited ears? That's Piglet, I'll tell him. No, no, said Owl, getting quite fussy. It's you. Are you sure? Of course I'm sure. Christopher Robin said all of them. Tell all of them. All of them except Ayer? All of them, said Owl, sulky. Ah, said Ayer. A mistake, no doubt, but still I shall come. Don't blame me if it rains. But it didn't rain. Christopher Robin had to make a long table out of some log pieces, and they all sat around. Christopher Robin sat at one end, and Pooh sat at the other, and between them on the side were Owl, Ayer, and Piglet, and between them on the other side were Rabbit, Roo, and Kanga. All Rabbit's relations and friends spread themselves about the grass and waited hopeful in case somebody spoke to them or dropped anything or asked them the time. It was the first party which Roo had ever been and was very excited. As soon as they sat down, he began to talk. Hello, Pooh, he squeaked. Hello, Roo, said Pooh. Roo jumped up and down for a little while and began again. Hello, Piglet, he squeaked. Piglet waved at him and began being too busy to say anything. Hello, Ayer, said Roo. Ayer nodded gloomily at him. It'll rain soon. You see if it doesn't, he said. He looked to see if it didn't, and it didn't, so he said, Hello, Owl. And Owl said, Hello, my little fellow, in a kindly way, and went on telling Christopher Robin about an accident he had nearly happened to his friend, of whom Christopher Robin didn't know. And Kanga said to Roo, Drink up your milk first, dear, and talk afterwards. So Roo, who was drinking his milk, tried to say but that he couldn't do both at once, and had to be patted on his back and dried for quite a long time afterwards. When they all had nearly eaten enough, Christopher Robin banged on the table with his spoon, and everybody stopped talking and was very silent, except Peru, who was just finishing a loud attack of hiccups and trying to look as if one of Rabbit's relations. This party, said Christopher Robin, is a party because of what someone did, and we all knew who it was. And it's his party because of what he did, and I've got a present for him, and here it is. Then he felt about a little and whispered, Where is it? While he was looking, Ayer coughed in an impressive way and began to speak. Friends, he said, including oddments, it's a great pleasure, or perhaps I'd better say it has been a pleasure so far to see you at my party. What I did was nothing. Any of you except Rabbit and Kanga Kanga would have done the same. Oh, and Pooh. My remarks do not, of course, apply to Piglet and Roo because they're too small. Any of you who would have done the same, but it's just happened to be me. It was not, I need hardly to say, with an idea, getting what Christopher Robin is looking for now. And he put his front leg to his mouth and said in a loud whisper, Try under the table. That I didn't what I did. But because I feel that we should all do what we can help, I feel we should all... Hup, 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 said Roo accidentally. Roo, dear, said Kanga reproachfully. What, was it me? Asked Roo, a little surprised. What's Ayers talking about? Asked Piglet whispered to Pooh. I don't know, said Pooh rather doubtfully. I thought this was your party. I thought it was once, but I suppose it isn't. I'd sooner it was yours than Ayer, said Piglet. So would I, said Pooh. Hup, hup, said Roo again. As I was saying, said Ayer loudly and sternly, as I was saying when I was interrupted by various loud sounds, I feel that. Here it is, said Christopher Robin excitedly. Pass it down to silly old bear. It's for Pooh. For Pooh? Said Ayer. Of course it is. The best bear in the world. I might have known, said Ayer. After all, one can't complain. I have my friends. Somebody spoke to me only yesterday, and it was last week or the week before when that rabbit bumped into me and said, there's the social round, always getting something on. Nobody was listening, for they were all saying, Open it, Pooh. What is it, Pooh? I know what it is. No, you don't. And other helpful remarks of this sort. And of course, Pooh was opening as quick as he ever could, but without cutting the string, because you never know when a bit of string might be useful. At last it was undone. When Pooh saw what it was, he nearly fell down. He was so pleased. It was a special pencil case. There were pencils in it marked with B for bear, and pencils marked with HB for helping bear, and pencils marked BB for brave bear. There was a knife for sharpening the pencils and an India rubber for rubbing out anything which you had spelled wrong, and a ruler for ruling lines for the words to walk on. And inches marked on the ruler in case you want to know how many inches anything was, and a blue pencils and red pencils and green pencils for saying special things in blue, red, and green. And all these lovely things were put in little pockets of their own special case, which shut with a click when you clicked it, and they were all for Pooh. Oh, said Pooh. Oh, Pooh, said everybody else except Ayer. Thank you, growled Pooh. But Ayer was saying to himself, this writing business, pencils and whatnot, overrated. But if you asked me, silly stuff, nothing in it. Later on, when they all said goodbye and thank you to Christopher Robin, Pooh and Piglet walked home thoughtful together in a golden evening, and for a long time they were silent. When you wake up in the morning, Pooh, said Piglet at last, what's the first thing you say to yourself? What's for breakfast? Said Pooh. What do you say, Piglet? I say, I wonder what's gonna happen exciting today, said Piglet. Pooh nodded thoughtfully. It's the same thing, he said. And what did happen? Asked Christopher Robin. When? The next morning. I don't know. Could you think and tell me, Pooh, sometime? If you want it very much. Pooh does, said Christopher Robin. He gave a deep sigh, picked up his bear by the leg, and walked off to the door, trailing Winnie-the-Pooh behind him. At the door he turned and said, coming to see me have my bath? I might, I said. Was Pooh's pencil case any better than mine? It was just about the same, I said. He nodded and went out, and in a moment I heard Winnie-the-Pooh bump, bump, bump going up the stairs with him. So this was Winnie-the-Pooh, and now I'm going to show you something. This is the map that Christopher Robin and Mr. Shepherd helped him. So, let's see the map. This is Pooh Bear's house. 6 pine trees, where Pooh's heffalumps, which was a chapter. Piglet's house, where the woozle wasn't. This was the time they searched the woozle. This is the bee tree where Bear fell down, big rocks and stones to the North Pole, like the stick when they found. Rabbit's friends and relations there, Christopher Robin's house, Owl's house, and the woodpecker, and at last Ayer's gloomy place, rather foggy and sad. So I'm gonna pick tomorrow a new book, and or later on I'll pick a new book, And thanks for listening to me. And so see you soon. Bye.